Okay, we are recording. Welcome to, what is it, the 17th?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tammy!
I was just gonna say, you just reminded me. It's my
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Tammy!
Birthday, Tammy.
Thank you.
You are 29 years plus one.
Oh,
Young,
sure.
young. We stop aging at 29, huh?
That's right.
uh, I am going to mute everyone so we can do our pledge. You can unmute when we're done. Top's pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I will take off pounds sensibly. Cop's pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I am to be an example as I keep off pounds sensibly. Okay, you can unmute yourself. We are good. I have I found several quick and easy programs under the members resources, the chapter programs. One is, are you engaged? Are you ready to say I do? By Barb Katie. And also one, this one's from 2009, Combating Procrastination. And I'm thinking, yeah, we all have that right now. It's like, oh, it's too cold out. I don't want to go outside. So we will start with the Combating Procrastination. I'll start tomorrow. How many have said that? I'll start
Every day.
tomorrow. Yes. You ever find yourself putting off doing something today because you think you'll feel more like doing it tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the next day? This behavior is called procrastination, and it's defined as postponing something on a regular basis. I'm a procrastinator. Many of us practice procrastination, and although we sometimes can get by with minimal penalties, we often fail to realize the full costs associated with not doing something when it should be done. It's your choice. When you make a conscious choice to do one thing or activity instead of another, the activity that you put off for another day has to wait. While there are some occasions when this is all right, most of the time we could procrastinate for a reason. We may not like doing the activity, or we may feel like we won't be able to do it well, or we may feel like we rather do something else. If the reality is that we must accomplish the task that we are avoiding, consider this. For every hour or day that we are dreading the activity, we are still thinking about it, and in doing so are wasting energy.
Mm.
Sometimes we spend more time dreading the task than actually completing it. That was my grandson at cyber school today. He had to do a final draft of the paper that he already wrote. It took him about 5 hours, and all he had to do
Oh.
was write one page of words. He
Mhm.
is a procrastinator. It's like, wow.
Mhm.
Uh, Additionally, most of us have experienced how good it feels to do something, get something completed. So, if you procrastinate, you're denying yourself the opportunity to feel good about your accomplishment. An example of this would be filing your tax returns. So good if you get a refund. Many of us dread getting our paperwork in order, filling out the tax forms, and submitting them, but most of us are relieved when the task is completed and our little check is in our bank account. Hopefully. Procrastination Toolkit. I like this one. There are some things you can do to help change your habit of procrastinating. Stop worrying. That's a hard one. Worrying will not get the job done, and it's counterproductive. If you are expecting something negative to happen, rationally plan for the possibility of it happening so you are prepared to face it. Start small. Like we always said, do small goals. Don't don't do big ones. If the task is big or complicated, break it into small, manageable tasks. That's where our SMART goals come in. Count the cost. Each time you avoid completing something that must be completed, you lose energy thinking about it, and the task may become even more difficult to complete later, especially if you're pressed for time and energy. That I have that problem. I do it at the last minute, and then it's more stressful. Look at for the hidden rewards. Besides the feeling of achievement, you will also feel like you have faced an uncomfortable situation and exceeding in doing so. You may even feel confident about your abilities. You will also have more energy. Confront negative beliefs. Pay attention to what you are saying to yourself. Are you telling yourself that you can't succeed? Say something positive to yourself to inspire you to complete your task. Double your resistance. Avoiding procrastination is a skill that takes time to develop as a lifelong habit. I've not learned this one yet. If you consistently remind yourself of the cost of procrastination and the joy of completing tasks that you would rather avoid, this will help ensure your success. Combine an unpleasant activity with a positive one. You could scrub the kitchen floor while listening to music. I'll just listen to music. Yeah, no, I'll just listen to music. Reward yourself for getting challenging things done. Just make sure that the reward suits the tasks and it's not cake. You don't need to be motivated to get motivated. Motivation is often sparked by action. Take responsibility for each day. You need to take responsibility for your actions because you're the only one who is choosing certain activities over others. It says to do this week. I'll probably do this at the last minute. Reflect on some of the activities or tasks in your life that you found yourself postponing. Write them down and think about the true reasons for your procrastination. Are you sabotaging your success by telling yourself negative things about your abilities? Are there tasks that you agreed to do that represent tasks that someone else should be doing because you couldn't say no to a request over time? Write down a strategy for making the changes that you have identified that need to happen. And hopefully, maybe we can do it, but we probably won't remember. But yeah, procrastination is a big one for me. It's like the tasks is too daunting, and I put it off, and then it gets worse. Anybody else have that problem? Yep. And that's a lot of problems. I mean, I did having Fat Tuesday in the second day of a restart with my day one. What did not help. I had that Foshnot. It's like, oh man. And then I craved sweets all day. It's like, man. Then I go to the store, walk to the store, and they still have some. It's like, oh man. I quickly left that part of the store. Wow. But anybody else have any comments about the procrastination? I have a problem with leaving things at the last minute, as I said. Anybody else?
I'm just so busy
Right.
doing my things that I say I'm going to do for the day that I don't want to get on that bike. And it's like finding the time. I'm so busy with what I'm doing. I need to find that time.
Yeah. Well, I found that for me, I have to put it on my schedule. So I put it in my calendar on my phone, and my phone reminds me.
That's a good idea.
So if I don't remember to do it if I don't schedule it. But good thing these are every Wednesday, so I remember. Otherwise, I'm done. Bad memory. Right. Any more comments about this one?
I'll share my story about tops because I procrastinated with not joining tops. I'm a
Mhm.
great joiner, but I didn't do anything once I
Mhm.
did join,
Mhm.
except usually gain weight. And then it was like, I don't know why I joined tops, but I'm not losing weight.
Right.
So then I would drop out. I truthfully can't tell you how many times I joined and quit, all over the world, because my husband was in the Air Force.
Right.
And finally, in the chapter I belong to now, I think I had belonged to it 3 times previous
Mhm.
to this last time, when it was like I kicked myself. I think I got scared about my weight ballooning, and I knew it was affecting my health, and I'd stopped caring about myself.
Mhm.
And the day I retired, the next day I joined tops, and I know that I'll never drop out. I know that, and lost my weight, made cops, and right now, and I think I'm procrastinating a little bit about this, because I'm like 5 pounds above my
Mhm.
goal to be reinstated, and it's sort of like I know how much work it is,
Mhm.
and so I sort of bounce around that 5 pounds, but in the back of my mind, I want to be reinstated cops,
Mhm.
but then I'm taking the easy road too. So help me out, ladies.
You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, the last
I
5
know
pounds.
I can.
Have you tried like a restart using My Day One?
No.
Do it.
And that's a good suggestion.
Because I started one on Monday, and of course Fat Tuesday was the second day of it. But I mean, I changed it a little bit up because I do more protein than starches, because I'm so active, my
Mhm.
muscles need the protein. But it prevents me from. I try really hard to. I don't do the snacks. I just do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But it
Mhm.
helps me make sure I get all my food groups in. And that was my
Mhm.
biggest problem. I do heavy on one, and fruits and vegetables. If I don't consciously think about it, I don't eat. And that's not good for you. You need your
No.
fruits and vegetables. But it helped. The first day I lost over a pound. I mean, it goes back and forth, but I'm hoping, because I'm too close to the upper leeway. I mean, I've got
Mhm.
only like an eighth of 8 ounces to
Oh,
you know
yeah.
half a pound leeway left, so I got to get down there.
And you are you weighing in right now?
Right? Yeah, we didn't stop meeting.
Mm. So what I discovered was eating too much protein.
Right.
I will have chicken. I will have like 3 or 4 meats with my
Mhm.
salad, and it's like just have
Oh.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and then I'll have some nuts during the day or something.
right.
Have something besides animal protein.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, my
but,
husband. Yeah. Yeah, with you with the kidney disease, it's the animal protein is your problem. My husband has
and
to
I didn't.
stop with that too.
I've had this for 7 years, and this is the first time I'm being told that I'm supposed to limit my protein. And oh, well, I mean, I come from days when you used to eat like a whole steak by yourself. No, I don't do that. I'll
Mhm.
eat like a quarter of that steak, but you're not supposed to have steak every night. You just
Right.
limit how much steak you have.
Mhm.
Once a week is good, and it's a balance. It's definitely a balance.
And we also
And
grew up.
Kathy, I I I I um left tops once, and I've been in it since 2005, and I was not um engaged in the program. It was more of a social, and it was
Mhm.
like I enjoyed my food. I
Right.
didn't get that portion control, and it was the My Day One book that set me on the right path.
It's got pictures. That's the
Pictures.
thing. It's the illustrations help a lot. Just seeing the words doesn't really get the point.
No, the black and white, I'm not a reader. In the black and white, that old book that they had, it was not helpful for me at all.
So your
And
choice.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen part
and
of
it's
it.
too hard to look things up. It was like, those days I didn't. Now I probably need to find that book and just because I don't have the real life book, but and just highlight, what I eat so I know. But
Right.
I have gone back to, I've never counted calories, and I'm very mindful of how much calories I'm taking in right now. And I was above my goal, and I'm 5 pounds below my goal now, just by
That's good.
watching my calorie intake.
Yep. It does help. I mean, you don't realize what those little tiny bites of something add up to. Especially, you may add maybe a teaspoon of butter, but yeah, that's still 37 calories that you don't
Right. So I'm going back to, I figured my breakfast was 200 calories this morning. So I'm figuring just like to be mindful of that. I'm not I'm not doing the journal, but I'm just being mindful of, hey, how many calories have I got in front of me, and how many, because I only do like a 1,200 a day. So it's I need to be mindful of that.
Right. Yeah, because I was gonna say 200 for breakfast. I'm usually hitting 500 to 600 for breakfast.
Oh, see, that's
I eat
no.
my
Well, that's
large meals
that's
at the beginning of the day.
I'll alternate every other day. Like I'll have a 200 calorie breakfast every other day, and then I'll have like a bigger breakfast the next day. It's a mix.
Yep.
Mix it up.
You gotta keep the variety, and otherwise, if you get bored with what you're eating, then your taste buds aren't satisfied, and then you start searching for foods that you're not really hungry, but your taste buds aren't satisfied. So I've even learned, I have a spice. I do Pensy spice. They have a garden salad spice, just to give some more pep flavor to the salad, so I'm more satisfied with it and not looking for other things to shake up the taste buds. But you do what you gotta do. So okay.
Do.
Hi, Lucy.
And Lucy.
Hello.
We were talking about procrastination for part of our, but we've got another one. The second. Go ahead.
My husband had an appointment today, and that's the only time I get to see him. And I was running late getting home because, taking care of everything.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, it's after 7. I don't wonder if I'm too late.
That's okay. We're usually on for about an hour. Okay. I have several programs, but I found there's one program I found on the website, One Small Step. It's under chapter programs, or you just search on One Small Step, and it's a 6-week contest if you want to do it. Even if you're not meeting, challenge your other members. It's really, really good. And it just popped up on the website. It's like, this is interesting. Okay. This quick and easy program is from 2011. It is, are you engaged? Are you ready to say, I do? Connect, hold, keep, absorb, embrace, commit. This is inspired by Barb Katie. It says to use it around Valentine's Day, but so we're in the right month. So we're good. Okay. February is the month of sweethearts and enduring relationships. We all know how stories of couples who have overcome great obstacles, harrowing circumstances, or just the everyday ups and downs of life, and have come out stronger, staying together for decades. If you have you can take a moment to reflect on the road these couples have traveled to arrive at their present day state of happiness, you'll see many parallels between their journeys and the roads we have chosen to travel toward our weight loss goals. When we keep our minds open, we receive wonderful gifts from all who surround us and support us. By staying connected, holding on to the purpose of why we joined TOPS, keeping the lines of communication open, which I've noticed since last March, they're a lot of the communication lines are a little weak. Embracing each other as individuals and maintaining our commitment to help and support, we will help each other do it. Okay, check your own engagement. Be honest. If you're not connected, then you will not succeed in improving the commitment. Assess the areas that need attention to strengthen your own engagement. Are you committed to your weight loss goals? Okay. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Molly, are you saying yes and shaking your head no?
I don't feel like I'm engaged at all in it right now. I'm just so not into it. It's
You're stagnant.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to shake that up. Yeah, winter's about the time I get less engaged to it too. And I gotta admit, I mean, I'm struggling a lot. I mean, I do not. I did 53 weeks of below goal, and this is week. What is this is 8. So this is week 60 for me of cops, and so I've got like 3 or 4 weeks in upper leeway, and that's so discouraging. So engagement is very hard for me right now because I need to basically go back onto weight loss instead of maintaining because I am above that number and I don't like that.
So, are you not going on as many hikes?
Well, I can't do it the days I'm helping my grandson with his school. So this week it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tomorrow, basically, if I can get out and have a walk before the main storm hits, I can do it. Otherwise, my exercise will be shoveling snow. And
Right.
that I can burn lots of energy with that one, just trying to stay warm. But I mean, it's most days. I mean, I did last week. I did 61 miles.
Wow.
Yesterday I did 3, but you normally getting like 22,000 steps a day, and yesterday I didn't even hit 10,000. So it's hard when I have my grandson. He just does not like exercise. Does not want to walk, or it's too cold out, or he's too plugged in with his electronics. So 3 days a week, it's hard to get the steps in. But compared to last year, I was more active last year. But, hey,
So
gotta get there.
I find that what I find frustrating right now is I'm doing my exercise, but I feel like I'm going in slow motion. It's just like it doesn't feel right. Like I just it's not working for me right now. So it's like I think my body is saying I need to get out and walk and have a different type of exercise.
Or can you go somewhere new?
I'm not even breaking a sweat.
Same here, unless I'm actually doing an incline. But if I do flat walks, I don't sweat. My heart rate doesn't go up high enough to get the aerobics. So I mean, a walk for me, I don't burn a whole lot of calories.
So what is better for burning the treadmill or the bike? Because I go back and forth, and I find right now either one of them is a little bit, monotonous. It's you can go more miles quicker on the recumbent bike than you can on that treadmill, but it's you're using different muscles when you're using the treadmill.
Hold on a second. Let me mute myself. Okay. Yeah, did I unmute myself? Okay. She's getting it. She's gonna go stay at her friend's house. Her friend's got 4-wheel drive, so she'll go to work with her friend and not in her little car. But yeah, the way I look at it, one, they're both boring. Look at what muscles are you using? You're only using your bottom half on both of them. Unless you're moving your arms,
Yeah.
you're not engaging your whole body. When I hike or walk, I use my sticks. I'm using my entire body.
Oh, you
Because
know what I
I'm
found?
helping my arms with the sticks, but
You know what I found? I found an old cassette player with the headsets,
uh-huh.
and it's got a cassette player, and it's got a radio on it,
Mm-hmm.
and FM AM, and she was singing the other day, and I broke out a dance. It was terrific. I was like,
That's
"This
what I
is
do.
great! Look what I found! Like, look at me move!" It's
That's
like it was so freeing. I was like, "Oh, I love it."
I do that a lot of time. I have do you guys know the Guardians of the Galaxy 2? I got the soundtrack. I crank up the
Mhm.
music and I just start dancing. And I'll tell you,
Yeah,
I break out in a sweat with that.
it was great.
Do something, you know, after a while, you need to put more energy into it because your body gets used to it and you don't get as much um cardio in it because your pulse is lower now. My resting
Mhm.
heart rate is 54,
Hmm.
and I'm lucky. The my the most increase I get is like when I'm climbing a mountain, and then because going up altitude, my pulse rate will go up to maybe 154, if that. I mean, after
But you're getting that distance in. You're getting all
right,
that distance.
but it does. I mean, you do you walk on your treadmill
Um,
or you
I will.
jog?
I get. I tend not to jog because I have this problem. So I
Right.
will get up as fast as I can go,
Mm-hmm.
and without jarring. You
Right.
know. Um, I posted the other day that I went out for a walk, and it was so nice out, and I just wanted to jog.
Mm-hmm. Then
Um,
do it.
I did the entire
Good.
time, but um, the next day, my disc was telling me, "Hey, you've been jarring my so
Yeah,
I
you got to
have
listen to your
I
body.
have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I want to, even if I start go as I'm walking. It's not don't do all don't go from doing not doing it to doing it the whole time.
Yeah, just you got to listen to your body. I mean, it all depends. I mean, like I said, between recumbent bike and the treadmill, you're using different muscles. You're not using your whole body. And how do you have like a smartwatch that measures your pulse or anything? Is your heart rate getting up any higher between the one? I mean, unless your heart rate going up, you're not burning a whole lot of calories.
I do have like a Fitbit that does have a
Yeah,
pulse on it.
yeah.
I'll
You need to pay
that's
attention because I know
yeah.
my smartwatch will tell me what I was in. Was it fat burning? And I maybe twice this year, my pulse has gotten to the point where I'm actually exercising for weight loss. Otherwise, it's mostly cardio, low impact.
Oh, my treadmill has a pulse thing
Mhm.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, then keep track of it. It'll tell you what you're actually, what you're, what, how, what the
Because
benefit of your exercise is.
I go at a pretty. I'm not like running. I would never. But I'll go at a not like a slow gait. It's a medium. When I start at like 2.5, and I'll just keep increasing it. I'll get up to 3 on it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But,
But um
but yeah, if you have that gauge on your thing, um, just keep an eye on what's level it says you're doing, whether it's just aerobic or weightlifting.
Oh, you know what I did? Because I haven't been on the treadmill for a while. So I had forgotten even how to use it. It's got so many programs on it. I realized after working on it for an hour, I realized I was on a flat surface. I'm like, what am I getting out of that? Like I
Yeah,
needed
yeah. Get
to
more, put on
put
an
the
incline.
incline up.
Yep.
So Molly, you have all this equipment, you know.
Are you using it, Molly?
I have not been using it.
See, that's the problem. I got myself an elliptical bike and everything, and a treadmill or the stuff to put my regular bike on a stand so I can use it in the house, and I don't use them. I'd rather go outside.
Well, it's just I love being outside in the summertime. I'll go for 3 walks a day in the summertime.
Mhm. Mhm. I try, but too much paperwork for tops. That's all I do.
Mhm.
That's the paperwork. So
Yeah.
so anybody else? Are you guys committed to your weight loss goals or maintenance goals?
I'm committed.
Yeah.
Committed.
Are we committed or are we being committed?
I'm, I'm committed every morning. I wake up and then something always comes up, and I like it outside. It's
Yep.
too cold. Did
Mhm.
go out and shovel snow again today.
Mhm. That'll
Um,
be me tomorrow.
but
And
I
we.
need to go in there and get on the bike
Mhm.
or on the treadmill. But
Mhm.
here
Yeah,
I sit.
I was
Watch
ready to
you.
take my regular bike out today, and then it's like, okay, wake up, 23 degrees. Ah, no bike today. I do not want to get frostbite on my toes. Little,
Too
little
much
too
snow.
cold this morning. Okay, it says, do you keep your vows to yourself? Do you keep your promises that you made yourself?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
procrastinate about those. Yeah. I tell myself, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, talk about everything. Make communication a top priority and make sure it is frequent, clear, and consistent. Don't give conflicting information. Um, regarding conflicting information, I get that a lot from my grandson. He'll say one thing, but his tone of voice says a totally different thing.
Mhm.
So be careful because when you say something, but if the tone of voice is different, somebody's going to misinterpret what you're saying.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the conflicting information could be verbal to nonverbal. That's the one I get a lot. Or they'll say one thing, but I I take the meaning different. So you got to be very careful about the communication, especially if like you say something like I do chapter visits. You'll say something and they'll misinterpret what I say because they don't have the same context I do. So you got to be very careful of communication, especially we don't if we're doing virtual. You can't always read body language because we don't see your body.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Communication can be verbal or nonverbal. Listen, really listen. This was something I had to really learn how to do. I came from a large family. You
Mhm.
just tuned everybody out. Yeah, 7 sisters. Yep. Yeah. I learned to tune people
Lot
out.
of scrabbling.
I had to, yeah, cat fights, yeah. But learning to listen and actually hearing what they're saying, I really had to learn when I started tops. I had to really um, force make myself listen, and now it's easier for me because it wasn't something I learned how to do. It says, don't let distractions such as your BlackBerry, your telephone, email, internet chatter, social media, that interferes a lot. Like my grandson, he's basically plugged in all day if we don't stop him. And we'll talk to him and he's just, it's like, go away. It's like, uh, there's too many distractions in this world, and I'm easily distracted, especially since all my strokes, and I'll go off on tangents, and I'm sure you guys realize that I go off on tangents, or I forget what I said, and I'll repeat myself a million times because my short-term memory is not that good. But yeah, distractions in this world um, are bad. So uh, recognize commitment and achievement. Look for and immediately recognize those who do a good job. Praise publicly and proudly. Um, that's one I try to do in my chapter. What about you guys' chapters? Because like the 2020 awards, due to scheduling, because once we got the stuff from my coordinator, it's like, okay, we'll do it. It's like, okay, well, she's not going to be there this day, and then the other person's not going to be there the next day. So I had to arrange the schedule to who's going to be there. But does your chapter wait until like April to give out the yearly awards? You guys do them right away when you do meet?
You talking how just
Like the
chapter
year award.
award?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know the stuff from the area stuff. It would be, at your ARD or PRD or SRD.
Yeah.
But the stuff through in the chapter. I mean, like when my old chapter, they never told me I was queen for 2019. The only reason why I knew is because I'm an advocate and I get all that stuff.
So they didn't tell me I was chapter queen either.
I didn't know until they gave me all the stuff, all my records, when I created my own chapter in July.
And
and that's discouraging because I mean I was really
Yes.
discouraged.
and like you say, getting
that
everybody together. This one can't be at this night. This one can't be at that night. So it's like we never do like yearly awards. We only do a weekly, and it's they give out charms.
Well,
Just
the
weekly.
yearly ones would be because of the chapter resume for the year,
Mhm.
like division
Mhm.
winner, royalty, stuff like that.
I was actually asked, are you going to graduate? And this was months after it was like, of course what kind of a question is that? Of course how long have I been in tops? Of course I'm graduating. Isn't that what I was here to do? Like to to stand with my leader as a cops and encourage these other people to get to make their goals.
Yeah, because I mean, coming from a chapter that didn't do a whole besides the weekly and the monthly stuff, it's basically all certificates. But I mean, they would wait until the end of April to have a spring awards banquet, and it's like
They never had any of those. Since 2005. There was never any yearly ever. They just and I had suggested with our runner-up queen had been in as long as I've been in my chapter, and I suggested, I said, we need to have a night where we can get together and celebrate. Let's get together and celebrate. Mary needs that recognition.
Yeah, because like Rick Danforth said, people know who the winners are, but even though the runner-ups in the second, third, and fourth place, they work just as hard. They should be recognized too, especially
so
runner-up.
And it didn't matter that she only lost so many pounds. It was she was in it for 22 years. It's like it took her 22 years to meet her goal. Give her some. They handed a pin as she was walking out the door. I'm like, no, we need to have a night where we celebrate this girl's accomplishment.
Right. Oh yeah, because we're gonna crown my daughter queen, and I was just given a certificate, and it's like, here, It's like, okay, well, she's getting a crown and tiara. She's getting a tiara and a cape, and a sash. It's like, this is what I think that, I mean, you become queen. I don't care how little or much you lost. It needs to be recognized, and it just needs to get recognized because
So I
it
never
wasn't
knew
our
what that
backs.
recognition was until I
Mhm.
finally did it. Like the not the recognition, but the accomplishment.
Right.
Like,
We need to.
um,
It's not so much a pat on the back. It's just that we need to be seen. We need at at some points. It's like whether it's your big chapter or not so much small chapters. We get lost in the woodwork. We're
so I had a lovely ceremony, but
That's
I had
good.
to initiate it, and
Mhm. Mhm.
but it was the advocate got
Yeah.
involved, and
Right.
she put on a really cute program.
Mhm.
It was really cute.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Your pictures
That's
are
good.
very nice.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
But
Yep. That
I
was a good
also
picture.
think it's just as important to be acknowledged every week,
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
not just
definitely.
at that final. So I know we have awards that we give out
Right.
weekly,
Yep.
and my chapter we've started an awards night is the last meeting of the month,
Mhm.
and hopefully we'll get our resume back. We didn't have the best year this past
Mhm.
year, so I don't know if we're going to have any division winners or anything, but we'll incorporate that with the end of the month
Mhm.
if it comes in time.
Oh,
Which the
it
month
was the
now is almost
weekly.
over with. I think
It
it'll be
was the
March.
weekly really what gave me the
Right.
incentive to be
Yeah.
high,
Mhm.
to have that challenge every week
Mhm.
to and I would write down my weight at home and 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 say, okay, I'm gonna beat that weight
Mhm.
next week. And I was high loser of the week. They lost track. They're like,
Right.
we can't keep track anymore. Like, and I'm like, you know what? You know what kept me going is, well, they had a $10 envelope,
Mhm.
and if you were on the envelope 3 times in a row for being high loser of the week, you would win the $10 envelope. I mean, that was a great incentive,
Mhm.
and people incentive. But they did Mardi Gras beads. They would put a
Mhm.
Mardi Gras bead on you every week, and I collected those things. I looked forward to getting that Mardi
Mhm.
Gras. This
Mhm.
is something very simple,
Mhm.
and it didn't cost the chapter a lot of money, and
Mhm.
um it just it just gave me the incentive to just I wanted it.
Mhm. Now at this point,
Mhm.
we just do.
But I had made a decision that it was time.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you
Are the
call your?
people told
I,
that they are division winners? Or is the
that's
chapter leader like who's notified about that? Because you asked about ceremonies. We've always done an award ceremony in the spring.
right.
I can't tell you the week, I can't tell you the month. I know it's sometime in the spring. So I'm just wondering, are the people that ended up being a division, like a division winner, not a chapter division winner,
Right.
but like a state level or
Right.
a state second rep, are
Uh.
they
Yeah.
informed?
Yes. Because the coordinator would find that out. Because once they get all the resumes done in the spa, will notify the coordinator, and then they will tell the chapter um what the state winners are.
But so does,
I
but no, but does the person know?
You'll
Yeah,
yes,
I got a letter. I got a
um
letter.
because I was yeah, the leader would tell the the member, or the coordinator would tell the member, because I
Okay.
know I went with my coordinator to the chapters and awarded in
See, so
person.
that's kind of weird
So
because my leader didn't know. I was the one who told my chapter. I got a letter from Rick.
right, right. But yeah, you do get when a state division winner, you'd be getting a letter. I was runner, second place state, but so I did. I was
So even
my
even being
coordinator.
chapter queen, they it was probably 6 months afterwards that I found out that I mean, because we had Mary who met her goal the same year, and I was like, who's chapter queen? Like, and she said, I don't know, and they
Yeah,
we
the night
usually
before to
will
withdraw.
announce it at the Christmas party. They never did.
You can
Um,
announce it at the Christmas party because don't do the resume till January. You won't
Everything's
know
messed up
till
in the days.
February.
yeah, well, it's usually a month after,
Mhm,
but it was a while, and I finally I was embarrassed. I have to ask,
mhm.
like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, you came for a chapter that didn't
So,
keep up with that.
no,
Okay, let's get back on track.
not to be negative, guys. Sorry, I'm not a negative person.
Okay, use 3 magic phrases. Don't be afraid to admit to not knowing or making mistakes. Use phrases such as I don't know, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. That's a good thing for all of life. I don't know, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. The
Mhm.
I was wrong is the hard one. No one wants to admit they're wrong.
Mhm.
Show that you are human too. Laugh, be a bit silly sometimes, and get to know each person as an individual. Acknowledge those with whom you work with a simple hello, goodbye, and goodbye every day. Um, I've noticed even you say hello to a person in public and they will not acknowledge you.
No, but I do
Why are
it
you talking to
anyway.
me? Yes, I
Do
do
it
that too. It's
anyway.
polite. It's polite. So, any comments? Because the being engaged is the hard one for me, especially during the winter. It's hard. You just want to hibernate. So, how's everybody doing? I know I'm struggling. You guys got to admit if you're struggling or not. No.
It's
Yeah.
bending up
Raise your
and
hand.
downhill.
Yeah.
It's bending
We're
up and downhill.
yeah. We're all struggling. The winter's hard. Anybody else have problems in the winter?
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
each person said she's going to do a challenge
Mm-hmm.
once she finishes her March retreat. So it's like, you did something with your live people back in whatever February, March, and then you had us and nothing for another couple of weeks. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a good boost to get refresher
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. So
So that's right. You went to the first retreat.
mhm, yeah, and it was
Nice.
really good. Do you want me to talk about it? How it
Sure.
was? So okay, so basically this was with Ashley Pfizer, who's the new retreat coordinator. Terry Ord is doing some, and Cynthia Mack are doing some. At least for this segment thing, the retreat plan basic schedule is basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
There is someone out there on Facebook who signed up to do a retreat with everybody. It's going to be a different style from the presenter, but the content is basically going to
Okay.
be the same. So, and we did have a session on the exchange system.
Mm-hmm.
We had a
Mm.
session on kind of like organize your life and whatnot, on exercise, on connection, and on our goals.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the really cool features of it, it was a sold out retreat. So there were 48 people that were registered, 5 people who just didn't show up for the whole weekend. So we just had a few more than 40. And for each session, she would break us out into like little groups. So if you were at a live retreat, you'd go sit at a table and discuss this topic.
So
And
she
then
did
you come
breakout
back into
rooms.
the room. We were able to break out into little rooms. So that was actually kind of cool.
Awesome.
And so it was fun. It was really, really good. And so she's hoping that after this February, March virtual retreats, They do have some tops retreats live in person scheduled for the fall. Hopefully they'll take place. But she did say that she's hoping that next year that they'll be able to for both the in-person ones and the virtual ones. Because I went to a real retreat several years ago in Lake George, New York,
Right.
and I was excited. I'm going to be meeting all these people. Everybody there was from either New York or Vermont.
Ah,
On the virtual retreat, we had a bunch of people from Canada, we had people from Arizona, California, we had an Alaska person. It was literally across the
Alaska.
US. It was
Wow.
very cool. One person was from Alaska. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was very cool.
That
So,
is
it
cool.
was
I
fun.
can't wait. I'm doing the one with since the Mac. I can't wait.
Enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there,
Nice.
as of this past weekend, there was still room in those last two that were remaining, but I don't know if there's any more room left now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, and it's actually affordable, and you don't need to buy gas or get her a hotel, and it's more people can afford it. So it's really nice.
Mm.
Any questions or comments or worries or victories? How did everybody do this week? Anybody tighten their belt this week?
I did.
Oh, at least somebody did.
I did. Wow.
you
I was up and I lost big time this week, but I really watched what I was taking in
Yeah.
because I realized that with the winter, wow, just not moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pay more attention to what you eat. Yep. Portion control. And it's just so easy to go to Starbucks and get a mango dragon fruit and drink 130 calories of liquid. It's like, I gotta stop doing that.
But if
Mm.
all you
But
got
it's so
was the
good.
drink, but if all that you got was the drink, then that is a win.
Right.
That's right.
Yep. Yep. And it's not the coffee, which is good. I like the coffee, but I don't like the fact that it's a cup of coffee that cost me $5.
Mm.
It's like, but but any other that's right, I have to do, where is this list?
So even though it's my birthday, I didn't have the traditional birthday cake. I didn't. Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, but that's okay. You
No,
tighten your
that's
belt.
fine.
So for the week, the get healthy and active, the challenge is for this week, review your food journal from previous weeks and begin writing down everything you eat for at least 4 days. For 3 days, walk at least the number of steps as last week. Consciously speed up and walk faster. Basically, do intervals for a minute or two at different times during your walk. Basically, try to you walk like before I do for intervals. I walk 5 minutes, jog a minute, or walk faster for a minute, and then
Okay.
another 5 minutes. That hopefully will get your heart rate beating faster and get your speed up. Because I am, if I hike alone, I'm a very slow hiker. But if I'm with somebody, I'll go faster. For one, I try to keep up with them, and two, somebody's there, so I'm not so worried about if I fall. There's
Mhm.
gonna be somebody there. But
Mhm.
but then it said for stay on track, create a playlist of uplifting songs for your walks and/or by listening, or begin listening to your favorite upbeat music while cooking.
Mhm.
I already do that, so we're good with that one. But anybody get back to chapter yet? Because I know they're starting, like the banks are opening their lobbies again next week. Not here.
Did you hear what the governor said today, Ruth? Oh, I missed. She came on. I missed it. Um, yeah. I don't think we're going to be opening up things.
That's terrible. I know our numbers are down.
We're having Zoom meetings, but that's all we're doing.
Yep.
Not meeting in person.
Oh, I had my very first virtual chapter visit. I loved it. People are more engaged virtually than they were when I visited their chapter.
Nice.
Well, for one, we could hear everybody and we didn't have to be so far spaced apart. And, I didn't have to yell because,
Mhm.
otherwise I'd kill your ears.
So when you're sitting in a chapter and you're wearing a mask, it's very difficult because you've got to turn to look at the person that you're talking to, or else they can't hear you.
Yep.
And things just get. It's just not the same experience. It's
Right.
it's and things get misunderstood, or just you get lost. Things get lost, and it's the mask. So really, to have a meeting and wear a mask, you've got to change how you run your meetings, because if somebody's talking, you got to really pay attention. So we started just raising hands
Mm-hmm. Yep.
if somebody had something to say, because it was too many people talking at once, and
the words are muffled because of the mask. You can't always.
And the leader couldn't figure out who was talking.
Yeah, because the facial expressions aren't there.
Right.
Because you can't see it. That is I'm lucky. We're basically we're only 4 at our meeting, so it's not hard because of recognizing voices. But if we had all of them 8, but they would be too far spaced apart to be able to hear everybody.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem.
Everything is going virtual. I just wish we had gone virtual.
Yeah, I don't like being plugged into electronics all day. It's just I'd rather be outside and unplugged. I'd rather be unplugged.
Your eyes.
So Kathy, how have you been doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm not really gaining, but I'm not really losing. And right now, that's the best I can hope for, and I'm okay with it.
That's right.
Because I know winter will end.
Yes, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I asked my husband, I said, it's the 14th. Are we changing the clock? He's like, no, that's March. It's like, oh, I wanted more sunlight. I really wanted more sunlight. I was trying to hurry it up. But Stella, how have you been doing?
Pretty good.
That's good. I'm trying to drink my water. Trying. That's the hardest part. It's just
floating away.
Okay, there's nothing more. Or anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Otherwise, it's 8 o'clock, at least Eastern time. I don't know what. I know Molly, you're at what, 7 o'clock there? Okay, we will stop and close with the helping hands. You take my hand and I'll take yours, and we'll start out today. For helping hand is what we need to guide us along the way. The way to goal is a lonely road. We need someone to care. Reach out, my friend, and take my hand, and then we're almost there. So everybody, hopefully I'll see some of you on Monday and then on Wednesday next week, and stay safe. And if you're getting more snow, be safe with your shoveling, because I know, take breaks, don't overheat. So talk to you later.
Night.
Bye-bye.